What's up? This your boy Jack Thriller, aka Kyle Sailor Man, aka Devo 3000, aka Jackavelli, and welcome to another great episode of Party and Bullshit and Party and Bullshit. Come on, hey, 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 hey. Yo, check it out. Y'all give it up for the band of DJ the Land, DJ Sorrow. Hey, y'all give it up for my player partner, Teo through here. Hey, and the show just ain't the show without the Jackie's Angels. Y'all give it up for the Jackie's Angels. Hey, from one to done, introduce yourselves, man. Jackie's Angels, starting from that angle.
How you doing? I'm your girl Meggie, coming straight out of Brooklyn. Happy to be here.
What's poppin'? It's your girl Harmony, straight out of Harlem. Jackie's Angels.
All right.
What's that, baby?
Let's go.
It's your girl Percy Lush. You already know I'm coming straight out of the country, South Carolina. Jackie's Angels.
It's your girl Jay Dillon, originally from Brooklyn, living in Queens.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
I'm not doing it. You are a boy. Go ahead.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sinquel coming to you live from the 7-5. That's right, the 757.
Hey everybody, I'm from New Jersey. My name is Red. I'm one of Jack's Angels.
Mikey from the X, the little red hair girl on IG.
Okay.
She a thug.
Hey, my name is Princess and I'm also from Brooklyn.
Asian persuasion.
Oh, damn. Alright. How y'all doing? It's Michelle. How you doing?
She's so trying to get this show started off right, man. Yo, the first lady's coming to the stage. She already here, man. I was trying to make it look like a Jack's name. You know, she really needs no introduction, man. She is a part of Black History. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I just said, though?
Yes, I did.
She's commanding boys and telling them what to do inside a man's world arena.
And the first one to do it.
And the first one to do it. Come on, man. The first one to ever do it. It ain't never been done before. Y'all give it up for the one, the only, Collette B. Smith. Man, hold on. She ain't no Tatiana. Yo, Collette, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's a good day. It's a good day to be empowered, inspired, encouraged, and inspired, baby. Let's go.
That's all you be doing. That's all you be doing.
That is.
Word, man. So I mean, like, how does it even feel to be inside your position right now? Because you know the responsibility that comes along with it, right?
Listen, it's a responsibility being a Black person in America, number one. Number two, it's even a tougher mission to be a Black woman in America. So to hold this is something I was born into. I've been a walking warrior since I was born. So I'm just saying, there you go.
Hey man, I got a million and one questions, man, but I'm finna throw it over to the ladies, man. Let's go ahead and get dirty real quick. All right, who wanna go first? Who got something? Boom.
Hey, it's Red. How did the company change? Oh, sorry. How did the company change since you joined?
The company? You mean the NFL?
The league, yes.
The NFL. Well, to me, the NFL is not doing enough for women.
Okay.
They talk a good game, but when you're in the inside, you see what goes on. It's not enough. It isn't enough. Every day is a struggle. You know, I know for me personally, growing up a little Black girl in Queens, my daddy would always sit my brother and I down and tell us, listen, y'all got to be twice as better than everybody else. So that's been instilled in me my whole life. And I didn't get to understand that until I was arrested back years ago fighting for the rights of black people and women to get construction jobs in our own neighborhoods. So I used to work for a company called Harlem Fight Back. And I went to Tuskegee. You know HBCU. Word. Cornbread, collard greens, and chicken wings. You know? So funny enough, like I remember going away to college, and I remember I had a friend of mine in college named Quabla, and he was from the Bronx. I was from Queens. And he used to always dress fly. He was a smooth dude too. And I would always say, like, well, why are you dressing so well? How do you have money? You're from the Bronx. Because I was just a Queens girl. I didn't, from what I saw, the Bronx was just like gunfire, drugs, and burnt down. Exactly. So when I saw him, he was like, I do construction work for a living. And I'm thinking, what? They don't get paid? And he goes, oh, yeah, really? So I want to say back in the early 90s, I was making over $25 an hour in construction work, but I had to fight for that job. When I tell you fight, I literally mean fight for it. For real, fight for that job.
Somebody in the face.
Man, look. You don't
That's what you gotta do.
I don't know what the statutory limits are now, so I'm gonna leave that alone.
What did you do? What did you do in? I'm sorry. What did you do like in construction? You know what I'm saying?
I used to run a jackhammer.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was a jackhammer. Yeah.
Damn, Jack. Damn. Say no.
Yeah, yo, I'm telling you.
And also, you know, that's amazing. Like a whole jackhammer, huh?
Yeah, 95-pound jackhammer.
95 pounds, Jack.
Yeah.
She 95 pounds. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm 140, but you know.
And I got one more question too. I was sitting here thinking, you know, first, you know, female, black, you know, NFL coach, you know what I'm saying? That's amazing, you know what I mean, first off. But like, how do you deal with, like, you know, all of the different emotions and attitudes, and you know, some of them might be taking a little enhancements, you know, the guy I'm going a little crazy and things, you know what I'm saying? So how do you deal with that, you know, just deal with it, period?
Well, you know, quite frankly, you can, by all means, go right ahead. Quite frankly, there were no attitudes. I walked onto that football field my first day. I want to say I was nervous, but I was more proud, and I was more full of. I probably had more testosterone than the men there because I felt so amped up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was a beautiful feeling, but then I knew my shit.
Right.
So it was just all about. Listen. All the players respected me. It was a beautiful day. That first day, it was great. There's always going to be one asshole, no matter where you go. Sometimes it might be 2 or 3. But there's always one.
Are you ready for him to jackhammer, huh?
Well, you know what? Interestingly enough, I wasn't ready for that because I got appointed by the head coach of the Jets, Todd Bowles at that time. And he's a black man. I was proud. He was a brother. I'm proud he was the head coach. So I wanted to show respect. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. And I didn't want to be that girl that they say, oh, wow, we hire our first girl. And look, there's a problem. She coming to us for something. Even though it wasn't my fault. Nothing was my fault. However, there's always one asshole. I had one guy that I had to deal with every day.
What did he do?
He just, you know what? I'll tell you what he did. The very first day, because mind you, when you're a black person and when you're a black woman, you got to prepare more than anybody else. You got to know everything, A to Z and Z to A. So I did my homework on everybody, from coaches to players. I knew what players went to school. I knew their verticals. I knew their 40s. I knew everything about them. At least my players, all my DBs. I knew all the coaches' history. So I went into my coach's room. A coach there wasn't the head coach because he was amazing the entire time. And I went in there and I was like, hey, you went to school here. You played with this NFL team here. You scouted for this NFL team there. You coached here. And he just looked at me like this. And he didn't say one word to me. So I'm standing there in his doorway. I'll never forget this because I was standing in his doorway and I'm standing there like, And he just dismissed me without saying you're dismissed. So I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of, I'm a former women's pro football player. So it's a thing that we do called backpedaling, right? So you backpedal, drop to your zone. And so I found myself backpedaling out of his office, very confused, like, I can't even read this quarterback. Like, what the hell's going on? Right. So it was very challenging for me. And I remember I left there, his office, and he gave me no energy, no life, no nothing. And I sat down at my desk like, all right, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem. I said, no, you got this, you got this. And it was like that every single day. Wow. Every day. In fact, in the NFL, in this office with the New York Jets, because I was the first female coach in Jets franchise history. Okay. I am the first African-American female coach to ever coach in the NFL. Right?
Get it right.
Right.
Get it right.
And I remember there was no female bathrooms like near our offices, right? So if the guys got up to say, I'm going to the restroom real quick, it was like right there, right there. If I went, I was like, I'll be back in 8 minutes and shit because it's like far away. And I remember this guy had me like this guy that was doing me wrong. It was just
doing you wrong.
Yeah, doing me wrong.
And you like this?
No, let me tell you, if he would have grabbed me like that, I'd have been arrested. I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And I would walk to the bathroom, and I was happy it was far away this day because I had to get my thoughts together, I had to get my mind right. And I remember I was in the bathroom, and I just had my hands on the sink, and I was just crying. I was crying because I was angry.
I did like that.
And then I remember when I finally picked my head up and I saw me in the mirror, I was like, oh, hell no. Right. Oh, hell no.
Right. Take that,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but this was a struggle every day. And then because you're the first, I didn't want to be the problem. Right? So I could have went to the head coach and been like, hey, this is what's going on. But I didn't want to be that problem. I wanted to be there and just be a coach and let's just go. We ain't even got a kumbaya. Let's just get our job done.
Right.
You know, so it was interesting. Right. Outside of him, it was great. It was absolutely great.
Hey, Collette, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know, one of the main reasons why I even like make a show where, you know, I have other female up-and-coming journalists on there and whatnot is to empower them and I'm gonna let them know that it's so many different things you could do inside of this industry and whatnot. And I wanted to put them in a position to be looked at first. Yeah, and I want to be looked at first, not because of the way they look. But, you know what I'm saying, what they know up here. And I'm always on their ass.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, if you're trying to help. Yeah. If you're trying to help. Now, I'll be on your ass if you're trying to show them off for their bodies. Because women, too many times, are sexually objectified. Ew. And I'm not down with that. We may have to talk. Look, I'm going to melt me. Somebody hand my purse.
Hey, Hershey, watch this. When I was telling you about the wardrobe, what did I say to you?
You told me, you said dress sexy but classy, not show too much, but you know, something nice and elegant.
Because we don't want to distract from what?
We don't want people to distract from looking at who we are. Instead of looking at our body.
Okay, Jack, let me get some. Let me get some.
Get off me! Get off me! All right. If anybody tell you that I said some bullshit, hey, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I want to tell you. Because it's some bullshit. Ladies, who got the next question?
I got the question.
Okay, Harmony.
Hey, girl. Again, this is Harmony here.
Hey.
I have a question. I did notice that you're an ambassador for domestic violence, and you also help children. And you're, wait a minute, and you're a woman after my own heart, because you're a woman in real estate, so am I, by the way. I have a question in reference to what you do with children who are in a position not like many others, who are failing or who don't have the necessary means to get into certain programs, get into certain things. I see that you're an ambassador for that. You have a whole program.
I do.
For children.
Yes, I do.
And I would love for you to talk about that because a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. First of all, I'm digging you right now for doing your research. Get it, girl. I like that. I like that. So yes, I am the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence ambassador. I'm one of their many ambassadors. I'm a 5-time rape survivor.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 5 times. And you're 3? Right? 1 is bad enough, right? So my uncle raped me twice while I was at Tuskegee University. My aunt, who, by the way, I'm named after her. Wow. And she was one of my favorite aunts. She's disowned me. I haven't spoke to her since I was 18 years old. And even when when her mom, my grandma, my grandfather, and her brothers, my favorite uncles passed away, I figured at church I'd see her in church for the funeral. And you know, I'm Catholic, so when you're like, peace be with you, I figured she's sitting right in front of me with my rapist. Oh, no.
Wow.
And I gotta sit there and everyone's telling me, be cool, don't start anything. And I'm like this. He's sitting right behind me too. I could have taken off I had a Chanel scarf on. I could have taken that off and just been like,
in Chanel.
You know, and but you know, so it's been a hard road. So for many years since that time, I've dated guys that were abusive to me. I did cocaine back in the day and a whole lot, thinking it was just cool. Or
hey,
I don't, you know. Just a lot of things, because when you don't feel worthy and you don't feel loved and you're done wrong and then your own people. Now listen, I don't expect the world to embrace me, but it should embrace me, you, all you. But when your own family doesn't also, that just played with my psyche, you know? So I started dating guys that were nice to me in the beginning. And then at a while it was like, want some candy, little girl? And I was always offering me candy, you know? And it was a whole different kind of candy, you know? And so, my life kind of was like, it's been on a roller coaster, you know? And I'd like to say, I want to get off this roller coaster because it's hard. This ain't Six Flags. You know? Right, this ain't Six Flags. It's not an all-day pass. In fact, I'll take an all-day pass. You know what I mean? I've been on I'm 49 years old. I've been on a 49-year pass that I want to give back. You know? So for me to pay it forward is everything. I know that I'm God's servant warrior on this earth. Yeah, you know, I know that. And I found my purpose. And it took me a while to realize that I was chosen. You know, because I remember cursing him out. First of all, I love the curse. I love the curse.
What's your favorite curse word?
I can't say it. Yeah.
Come on, man. You can't do it anywhere. Yeah. You can do it here.
So I'm like, okay. I'm deflecting right now, right? So I love the curse. I was cursing him out one day, and I was like, so I just get to help everybody else. I get to go to these schools and talk to these black girls and help out our black youth every day. But what about me? Who's helping me out? And I was angry this day. I was angry. And man, so then all of a sudden, probably about 10 seconds later, I was like on my knees and I was praying and I was like, oh my God, thank you. Okay, I get it. I'm your servant. I get it. I'm here to do your work.
Right.
And when I thought about it, the more and more I thought about it, I was like, quite honestly, when I help other people is when I'm the most happy. So I was like, wow, he's doing this, you know, like, so it was a process.
That's your joy.
Yeah, that's my real joy, is to make other people happy, because I don't want anybody to feel the way that I ever felt, you know, and I still have moments like that bother me, you know, so it's tough, but I know it's beneficial, and I know I can help the world, and I know I'm here for us, and I mean, and I say that, and I say it very proudly, for us.
Talk about it now.
Yeah, because guys, I'll get people saying something to me like, well, what about all youth? You talking about black youth? And I'm like, I would never shut down any youth, but I got to be a first priority for black youth, because we're not a first priority to the world.
That's right. Fuck them other kids.
Right. You know, so when you start sending your kid to a school in the hood, then we can talk.
Right.
Call me when you put your kid in in the closest public school in 40 projects or Bed-Stuy. Then let's talk. Other than that, go on about your business. So
next question, ladies.
I had a question, because I noticed that you started playing football at age of 42.
Yes. Yeah.
How did that even come to be?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
You well fit if you can do that at 42.
Well, I mean,
you're black, no crack either. We know how that goes.
Well, I mean, I did real estate for a living, right? So I did it for like 18, almost 20 years, and I made a lot of money in real estate. I didn't want a co-op or a condo or brownstone to sell. I wanted the whole damn building.
Right. I heard that.
Right?
That's where the money is.
And right. And so I remember my very first company I worked with, I went to my manager and I was like, look, I'm fighting to get a co-op or a condo. This guy's selling this $2 million property, you know. And I said, but why aren't we going to these developers or these developers? And he was like, well, we don't, you know, just take the condo. And I was like, I looked at him like he was crazy. And I was like, I said, yeah, okay. And I went to my office and I was like, you know what? I want the whole building. That's what I'm doing. So I ended up doing tons of real estate in New York City. I was like the queen. I did a lot of real estate in Harlem too. From Soho, Tribeca to Harlem to Brooklyn, you name it, I did it. I've done deals in Staten Island on a referral basis. And I remember the market had crashed. And I had checks coming in. I was like this all day. I had checks coming in that I didn't even know were in the mail. You know, I would get the mail. I'm like, ooh, look at this, so 5 more checks. Right? And I would, look, that was then. That was then. You know, so it was a good ride. Oh, and then the market crashed. So now I found myself like, because I was always busy. I was working every day, all the time. And the market crashed, and I wasn't used to being alone without work. Like,
you don't have to do that no more. Go ahead, talk.
Stay on our good side, Jack. On our good side.
And so I was sitting down, I was smoking a Newport. I was drinking a 40 ounce.
I love you.
It was a Colt 45.
Oh, do you smoke stoves too? Because I smoke stoves.
What is that?
Cigars.
Oh, I stole it? Hell yeah! I smoke cigars. I got cute humidifiers. Humidors. I got 2 humidifiers.
What's your favorite cigar?
Oh man, Cohibas.
Yes!
I'm a Cohiba girl.
Yes.
I'm also a Cuban.
Okay.
I'm a Cuban.
Yes.
Cigars, not men. But yeah, so I was sitting down, I was smoking a Newport, I was drinking a 40 ounce, and the market was just, it had depleted. And so there was no work coming in, there was no money. I just kept putting money out, paying my bills. But I was okay because I had a lot of money in the bank. Nice. Then I was like, okay, this is, but I'm just putting money out. I happened to be messing around on the internet and I came across women's pro football team tryouts. And I was like, wow. I was like, wait a minute. And then I looked at my beer and I was like, how much of this shit did I drink? You know? And then I looked at it again and it was a Wednesday. Tryouts were that Saturday. And the tryouts were at 9 a.m., but you had to be there at 8. Remember what I told y'all I was doing before, right?
Right.
8 o'clock, I'm just rolling over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I said, well, I gotta go, because all my life I had to fight. Right? So I was told my whole life that I couldn't play football because I was a girl. Right. So my older brother got to play. I was forced to be a cheerleader. I was the worst cheerleader ever.
Well, I'm all about girls.
Go ahead, Jack. Yeah, so
not the naked football either.
And not that one, thank you. Right, thank you. Not that crap. That is not real football. That is not real football. I don't respect them at all. None of them. Look, none of them. So I went out to tryouts, and I remember I went out there, and as soon as I walked on the football field, as soon as I got out of my car, and I saw 45 to 50 women playing football, full equipment, helmets, pads, cleats. I felt
so confusing.
I felt like this. You know what? I felt empowered immediately, and I was like, no more is anybody going to dictate what I can and what I can't do at my worth. You feel me?
That's right.
So I started playing at the age of 42, and I didn't think I was going to make the team. So funny enough, when I got there, I was
no good girls out there. Let's be honest about that.
What you mean, good girls? Everybody was a good girl.
I thought I said that in my head. I'm sorry.
but the thing is, I didn't think I was going to make the team because I was 42. I was smoking a Newport. I was drinking a 40 ounce. Right, so I'm not going to make the team. I didn't work out. Only time I worked out was like after midnight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But so I get there and I'm knowing I'm not going to make the team. But I said to myself, if I don't go experience this, knowing that I wanted to play my whole life, but was never allowed because I have a vagina. If I don't go experience it, as a grown woman, I'll regret this day. That day I didn't go. So I went there thinking I'm not going to make it. And when I got there, I was so energized and empowered. I was like, oh, ain't no way I'm not making this team today. And I gave it everything I had. I had an asthma pump in my sock. And I was like, make that team though.
I heard
Wow.
that.
Right?
All right now.
What position was that? What position did you?
That's a good question.
So my rookie, I wanted to be a running back.
Okay.
So my rookie
That's a
year,
hard job.
I know. That's why I changed over to free safety.
I was impressed like a
Yeah, so I wanted to be a running back like Franco Harris, number 32 from the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day. When football was football, you know. That's what I wanted. Exactly. And so now, then I wanted to be like Franco Harris, and then Curtis Martin, number 28. In fact, that's the number I wore when I was a player. I wore number 28 for Curtis Martin, and because 32 was taken. But still love you, Curtis Martin. You know. So I did that. I didn't like getting hit as much as hitting. Yeah. So and they would say, drop your shoulder. I'm like, how am I gonna drop my shoulder? But I'm already dropped. Like, what the, you know?
On the flow.
You know. So I went over to free safety. I turned out to be a safety, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
You got a couple interceptions going on or something?
I don't actually have interceptions. I have like big hits.
Talk that shit.
I want you to cough the ball up. I want you to know that when I'm on this side of the field, you're going to be scared to catch that ball. You're going to be like, here comes the ball. Colette's right there. Right?
Next question.
All right, with all of your experience, construction, real estate, now the NFL, what advice can you give women who are navigating male-dominated industries? And not just to work in them, but to dominate those industries like you.
Do the damn thing.
Do the
damn thing. You know, do the damn thing. You got to get up every morning knowing that you believe in yourself. Knowing that you believe in yourself. Ain't nobody, and I said ain't on purpose, ain't nobody going to believe in you the way you believe in you. And to know what you're truly capable of. And all shit aside, when you get tested.
Tested for what?
For anything. When you get tested in certain things and let's say you fail, but know that you tried, you know, you gave it a shot, and then learn from those experiences. So take anything that's ever happened to you, from school to previous jobs or whatever it may be, use that to build your strength. Use that in your mental Rolodex to handle the next situation. Right. You know, so literally believe in you. Believe in yourself.
That's it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Again, it's your girl Harmony. But anyway, I just want to throw this out there.
Smart.
Do you think that you're unapproachable to the opposite sex or the same sex? You know, you never know nowadays.
I don't intimidate nobody. She don't know. What's
First
up?
of all,
What you say? I didn't hear you, Jack.
First of all, Jack, she's in a position of power, and a lot of men are afraid of it. And she talks with conviction, so they'll be even more intimidated. So my question again: do you find that you intimidate people in the dating world? Like,
I'm very single.
Give me your number, boy. You know what I mean? Right now. Coach, now drop down and give me 50. Give your number.
Drop down and get the eagle up. Drop down and get the eagle up. You know what? A lot of men will tell you, "Oh, I love a strong woman." How many times have we all heard that, right? "Oh, I love a strong woman," and then when they get your ass, they're like, right.
So both sides respect them though. Physically strong.
And
your mental. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's your body slam messing with you.
You give me a reason, you might. That's right. You're right.
To go over Harmony said, a lot of times when you are a strong woman, you get more of the feminine men that are coming up in street word.
A lot of that nowadays anyway.
A lot of niggas, man. They look like real niggas, and they're not. So like, how do you like in that situation, like, because you're very single, navigate that as a strong woman? Because you get the man who's like, yeah, I want you to be strong, and then you get home, it's like, so where's that subservient attitude?
Right. I can't. Any feminine man should not even step to me. I can't do it. I mean, I like a man. Right.
Like a big strong man.
I like give me free. Give me free. You know what I'm saying?
John Henry.
It's Toby. You know, so for me, it's difficult because I mean I'm who I am. Like my mom is from the deep south. My mama and them are from Mobile, Alabama. So I got family in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama. And so the good old folks down there, and my mom would say, you know, you're just so rough. You're just, you know,
they don't do it like,
you know, right. And for me, I'm like, okay, and
right,
you know, and my mom's like, well, you should tone it down a little bit because guys don't like that. Then I'm like, I said, well, then he ain't the right guy for me. You know, there's gonna be a big, strong, give me free dude that's gonna be like, I got you, and I'm like, I got you too. You know what I'm saying? You know. So it's difficult, but I mean, I know I won't settle for less. You know, I know what I want, and I know how I'm supposed to be treated as a woman, as a black woman, and I'm not settling for less. If you can't change a flat, if you can't fix my shower head or something, you just need to go on away. But I still want you in a business suit. You know what I'm saying? I want you playing some ball on the weekends.
I got a couple people numbers to a carpenters, all that shit, plumbers, all that. I got a manicure.
You gotta know what a jackhammer is. You gotta know, what a
jackhammer is right here. Do you hear me in the helmet? Okay.
I had a question.
This is not feminine. This is not feminine. All right, this is meticulous grooming.
That's true.
All right.
Absolutely.
That's all that is.
It's your girl, Jay Dillon.
I ain't gonna be putting no dirty fingers in you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You don't want
that was the last one.
No dirty fingers.
That was nasty.
Okay.
That was really nasty. That was really nasty.
You made my whole vagina shrink.
Yeah. You made mine go back to Africa.
You need a gel manicure, you just go wash the hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no soap quick.
Hey, hold on. We have sanitizer in here.
Something.
We got sanitizer in here.
Yeah.
Hey, man, ask the question, man. Get off me. It's about me. And my hand. I asked for that shit. I asked for that.
Yes, Jay Dillon here at you again. So I wanted to ask you, since you've done things for your career that are known to be, more for men dominated. Are there any other things that you like to do that are mostly male dominated, things like for fun or anything like that, other than smoke cigars?
Yeah, I love a good cigar. I love a good cigar. I mean, listen, play football. I mean, I don't think I think about it as far as a gender. So for me, I like what I like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like what I like, so I'm going to do what I like.
Right.
You know, and now I have the opportunity, or should I say I stepped into my courage. I stepped into my strength. And I'm going to not step into it anymore. So there's no going backwards for me. So whatever I want to do, I'm going to do. Period. You know, if I want to jump out of a plane, there's a parachute on me, I'm going to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm going to do.
You jumping out of a plane?
Yeah, I'm coming. Your girl, Meggie here. So I love strong women. So I would like to thank you for that, for being such an inspiration for all of us. Right? When we were downstairs, we met previously.
Yeah.
And you shook my hand, and you had such a strong grip. And it was like,
where you going with this?
Stood out.
Shut up, Jack Thriller.
You know what I mean? That's something that you embody all the time. And do you see that Venus Serena commercial that's out? The Nike that just
Yes, Nike. Oh, yes.
It's so inspiring.
Yes, yes, yes.
And at times I feel like women, we don't give each other credit, and we don't lift each other up the way we should.
I agree.
We'll praise a man before we praise ourselves. So I'd like to know, who are some of the women that inspired you, you know? I'm going to take that handshake, and the next person I shake, I'm going to shake their hand just because.
Yeah. So my father, a long time ago, taught me how to shake hands. My daddy said to me, listen, I had my first job interview many years ago, and I used to always get the job. I never was jobless. Whenever I went in, so you know what, somebody brown skin would say that didn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Come back for
that. Look, boop. But so my daddy showed me how to get, shake a hand, and he was like, you always take this piece right here and make sure it connects with their hand. He goes, and when you shake their hand, he goes, squeeze it firm. He goes, but look him in the eye.
That's right.
Then pinch that
Look him in the eye.
That's on the inside.
You know, because it's just a sense of confidence. You know, so if you're going out for a job interview or you meet somebody, it shouldn't be, you know, oh, hi, I can't stand the wet fish shake. Where they like, I can't stand this.
Well, you know,
This, I want nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. So for me, it's about being confident, shaking your hand, and then not asked to get seated. Can I sit here? I'm in a job interview. You're sitting behind the desk. There's a chair right here. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down right here.
Right. Right.
How you doing?
Face to face.
Boom.
What's happening?
You know. So my daddy told me that a long time ago, and interestingly enough, like when I think about strong female role models, I mean, the easy answer would be Oprah, Michelle Obama. You know, Michelle Obama, I dig what she says all the time. When they go low, you go high. You know, and that's hard to do. It takes a strong person to go high when someone's going low. Because I swear,
I'm going to bed.
all's my life. I want to, you know, but honestly, it's easy to punch somebody down. It's easy to tackle them. It's hard not to. To keep your dignity.
Not to kill niggas.
You know,
it's so hard.
You know,
I go home like
shit gets real. Shit gets real. You know, but it's about respecting yourself, right? So for me, I discovered that, you know. Listen, I'm not gonna talk about the one chick I had to beat down this one day. You know, she had it coming though. She had it coming.
I believe her too.
She had it coming.
You know why? Because most women are haters.
Yeah.
Y'all be hating on each other all the time. Y'all biggest haters. Hold on, watch it. This is a problem I've had on the show before, right? Girls will come, they'll come on the show, but they won't promote each other. They won't take pictures with you. They'll act like they're the only one that was here that day taking
And
pictures.
men don't do that.
No, I don't.
Come on, Jack.
I don't.
Come on, man.
I put everybody on.
Women don't hate.
Men do that too. Men do that too.
Okay, the proof gonna be in the pudding today. The proof gonna be in the pudding today. Let's see who show love to each other. Let's see who.
We already did. We already did.
Okay. Let me see.
I was on the floor getting pictures of girls.
We already
getting those
So you know what? But you know what's funny?
Show me.
You know what's interesting? Here's what's interesting to me.
Okay.
Just because Jack got a big ass mouth, don't make the loudest one ain't the rightest one all the time. Sometimes God gave you 2 ears for a reason, right? Listen to people. But you know what? Interestingly enough, men do exactly what you're saying. Men do that. But you know, but it's interesting how the other sex who thinks they're superior to us will only will only call out the women. Because we're supposed to be, just sit down right here. Nah, not doing that. Nah.
This is not what we gonna do.
Look, somebody move that table. Somebody move that table right here. We done turn the tables, Jack.
I deserve that.
It's okay, Jack. You'll be all right.
Your job.
You'll be all right, Jack. Women deal with this all the time.
That's how y'all feel?
Yes.
Y'all deal with this all the time?
Yes, Jack. Yeah.
Well, I stand corrected.
Like you don't
Right.
Can we start over? My name is Jack.
Right, come on.
Okay, well, keep that same energy then. Let's see how long can you do it. Hey, listen, Collette, I thank you for coming on the show today, man, and showing love to the ladies in the audience. This is going to be the first of many times.
Congratulations on your
Yeah, y'all give it up for us.
Thank you. So you know, I started my own company called Believe in You Incorporated, right? So I'm no longer coaching the Jets. I found my purpose. I found my passion. My purpose and passion is to have my own company, which I have, called Believe in You Incorporated. And I've dedicated my life, because can't nobody take away my platforms.
That's right.
That's there. I'm in the history books. And I'm using that to empower us. You feel me?
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Are you still faithful? Like, do you attend church?
I was there Sunday.
Every Sunday?
Yeah, we spoke about Luke, about love thy neighbors. Yeah. When somebody does you wrong, love them anyway. Love those who mistreat you. Pray for them.
Collette, that's in the city though? What you doing?
I do it wherever. I travel. I've done it in DC, Minnesota, Atlanta, New York, Brooklyn, Queens.
Okay.
So anybody can reach out to me and say, we want you to come visit our school, do a motivational speaking engagement. I do that.
Nice.
And there it is. Hey, take us out, DJ Thorough. Collette B. Smith. Come on, boy, and bullshit. Yeah!